All right, we're back. Johnny Canuck Talk. We are very happy to say that if you didn't already notice, the Canucks won Game 2 of their play-in series, and
That's
that's
right. Win.
win.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're excited about that. We're happy about that. Pretty stressful time, pondering going down 2-0, and only I think it's 51-1 in NHL history, teams that have come back being down 2-0 in a 5-game series, 51-1. That's not great odds. So the Canucks, came through, looked a lot different, played a lot different. What did you notice, Roy, that was improved or had changed since Game 1?
So I'm going to talk about a couple things that I saw that improved. One thing was a system thing that obviously they watched tape after the last game, and anybody that saw the shot chart from the previous game noticed that there was not a lot of dots around the net or anywhere in front of the net. And so if that's the case, then you better get in front of the goalie, because if he can see all those shots from way out the outside, they're not going to be going in the net. And I thought they did a great job. Right from the first goal, like Eriksson went to the net, kind of took a guy with him, opened up a lane. Pearson, phenomenal shot. Besser went to the net, rebound. Pettersson, I think, got a stick on it. Besser puts in the puck. So they went to the net. They had purpose of being around the net and forcing Minnesota to really intensify their defensive game, where I don't think Minnesota really had to do a lot in the first game. Not that Canucks weren't trying. They just didn't have the same purpose. Today they had tons of purpose. Obviously, being down a game really helps that. So they went to the net. All their goals happened to be around the net. Bo Horvat with the tip. Everything was around the net. That's how they're going to get their goals. JT Miller's toe drag, phenomenal shot. Again, Petey going to the net on the far side. Everything was around the net. So that was good, seeing them go to the net with purpose. They also drew a lot more penalties doing that. And then the other guy is I want to talk about is an unsung hero. There's a lot of guys that I thought stepped up their game, obviously, because everybody played so poorly in the first game, with exception to 2 or 3 players. But I just want to signal out Tyler Mott. I don't think he gets enough credit for what he does. Yes, he's a fourth-line player, and he's a plug-and-play guy and stuff like that. But on the PK, Tyler Mott last night did some amazing things individually, getting in the lane, blocking shots, and then taking that extra effort to get the puck out of the zone. I remember during one sequence, he blocked 2 or 3 shots, and then he got the puck out, and all you heard was the Canuck bench just erupt. It wasn't that fan-in stuff that the league puts in. It was the actual bench. I think you hear one guy, way to go, Motter, and stuff like that. So I liked his game. I thought he stepped up the intensity that they had to do that. And they really had to shut down that power play. They've done a great job with the 5-on-5. So the Tyler Mott and going to the net were the 2 things I wanted to focus on. How about you?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I noticed right from the beginning was just the change in confidence, how the guys kind of settled into their game. I mean, obviously it's so important and so helpful for this team to play with the lead, and very much more difficult, I think, for Minnesota to play behind. And that's a huge advantage right to begin, and that really shakes off some of the rust. Maybe makes you feel a little better about how your game's going. And they looked more settled in. They looked more confident. They really sort of had control of the game right from when Pearson scored that game in the beginning. So I'm just going to say that the confidence of having that first experience, that first game, a bit of time to work with the coaches, and to have one of the worst players in Game 1 come and score in the first minute, I think that was a real key for them. Even though it was tied up, and they still, it's even Steven at that point. They still kind of controlled the game and played confident. For me, there's so many players that played just so much better. I mean, it's not hard to point out some changes in that. First, I have to just mention how well Petey played, how strong he was, completely unwilling to be intimidated. Just awesome, absolutely awesome. But the person I want to highlight is sort of a rock of this team, a real foundational piece, an underrated player, maybe made
most
fun
expensive player.
Maybe made fun of just a little bit. Not the most expensive player. Actually, same price player. No, Alexander Edler. Edler played a fantastic game. He didn't play a great game in game one, but he played that game that we want him to play in the playoffs. He he was aggressive in front of the net. He was smart. He got 2 assists. He was on the PK all night. He was really rock solid. He allowed Myers to play well. He allowed Hughes to have and Tanev to have a bit softer matchups. But there's just so many compliments that can go around the team. Louis is another one. Just because of the difference in play. But Roy, there were a significant amount of injuries that have occurred in the last couple games. Not quite as bad as Winnipeg, but
No,
we're looking at possibly 4 injuries, depending on what's happened with Gaudette, if he was scratched or if he was unfit. What does that mean for the next game, for Game 3, which is it's actually getting close to being 24 hours away, that next game? So,
so I think what it means is obviously more lineup changes. It sounds like Ferland's out. And until we get confirmation, obviously, we don't really know because everything in the bubble is unfit to play, and we don't know, and there's no media allowed, so you actually don't find out until like an hour or two before the game.
Pregame skate.
But the thing is, he only played 2 minutes this game, and I know people were quick to panic and go to the concussion thing. It doesn't sound like it. Sounds like lower body took a shot off the foot. Hopefully, his is not like Toffoli, where he's in a walking boot, and it's going to be a long. Toffoli's injury sounds long term actually, and so. And if Gaudette was hurt as well, that would not bode well. Roussel, I would like to think Roussel's going to come back, but he did take a puck off the head. I don't know, concussion symptoms and all those things. If they come out, maybe Roussel doesn't come back. So if we're talking about 4 players not coming back and 2 more have to enter in, you have to think that it's going to be Bailey and McEwen. The thing is I think Bailey is part of the Black Aces. Am I right? Right. So maybe, just maybe, you take a flyer on a guy that really showed well in camp and go with a Cole Lind. I would love that. I would love a Cole Lind to come in instead, because I think he's the type of guy that is smart and is really not that Bailey's not great. He's big, fast body. But anyway, if we're just looking at game changes, that's something we can talk about another time. But obviously some game changes are going to have to be made because injuries are going to happen in this format. But at the end of the day, best line's got to be the best line, and Louis got to be Louis.
It's all about the little things. Let's go, boys.